It must be Friday.
Yay!
We were just saying that the number one song out there that Vince Verderame made was the one you just played.
Yeah, it's a hit.
Because Elvis heard it.
It's on his iPod.
He listens to it when he works out. It's like, come on.
I shower to it.
Yeah. Oh. Well, this went real interesting real fast. We have the Elvis Lederer in America here for us on the show tonight. House Seats presents.
Welcome.
Ooh, I just got like
Great
stereo in my ears just now. Did you? Oh, man.
No.
I don't know. Maybe it's my earphones. And we have a mic'd audience out there. We just discovered scary shit out there, the four of them.
Everybody's got a mic on?
It's the beer leaders.
Everyone has a mic. Yeah.
I
the
see what
beer
you're saying.
leaders. Beerlitos.
Prost.
Whoa, Post. Ah.
Cheers.
I think it is.
Yeah.
Elvis. I think it already is.
It's ironic, actually. It starts the last 2 weeks of September. I'm from Munich. That's where it comes from. And it's celebrating going into October. So it's not actually in October.
Yeah.
Oh.
They had some things here locally at the Hofbrauhaus and things, I thought, in the last couple of weeks.
It'll be
they've
still
shown things.
ongoing, I assume, yeah.
Yeah. Have you been before? In Germany to
Oh,
Oktoberfest?
yes. And it was actually so bad because I live close to it and I got so sick of it because of all the drunk people vomiting into my hall, entryway. So I was really kind of like against it. But the last few years I came back, it's a really nice festival where people sit on long benches and are, strangers become best friends with a couple of beers very fast.
Yeah.
And you traded that for Vegas, where they do the same thing here. So it's not like you've gone too far from that.
But it's more whiskey and tequila than
that's
beer.
true.
That's true.
This is true. Oh shit, we're gonna have a lot of fun.
I know.
out there.
I'm like,
I'm
wait, what?
You all better keep it down or be very clear on your responses.
The only thing that I knew about Oktoberfest growing up was European Vacation.
Oh yeah.
Where they were over there, and he goes in. Rusty goes into the little booth with the girl, and she pulls out her boobs, and I was like, boobs. That's what I knew about Oktoberfest.
Boobs.
Well, we were just in Europe, and my daughter growing up here, who's 7, and people walk on the beaches completely naked, and her eyeballs fell out. I was like, yeah, well, that's how it is. It's a whole different concept there, I guess.
We have a lot of boobs that come out of this show too, just FYI. So if your boobs happen to pop out, we won't judge. We do like our shirtless men in the show. It's fun. It's not a requirement, but if you feel the need after all that whiskey, I'm down.
Yeah.
Oh, who? Chris Chiquino. And his shirt was down to here. Of course, that's classic Chiquino.
You know Chris?
Of course I do.
Of course you do.
Did he
All of
reveal
you
his
know.
gold chain? No, I don't.
I think he stuck me with it under the table, which is my
Yeah, he did.
So at the top of the show, we always kind of talk about what we did in the prior week, things that happened as we roll along. And we took a little outing. So last week we had Brandon Allen McClanahan on the show. I said it right.
Rue's cousin.
Rue McClanahan, his cousin. We saw him. He is Mordred in Tournament of Kings.
He looks evil.
Yeah. Well, this is my husband. He was taking pictures of the whole show where they say don't take photos in the show. So he's like getting all these great shots of the fire and all this other stuff. And I get one shot in the whole entire show. That's my shot. Because Brandon was right over there. I'm like, Brandon! And I snapped it. And then, he was trying to get in. Merlin's trying to get in the shot,
He got photobomb by a wizard.
These are all, of course, Jay's shots because he did, more artistic shots because he was up there with his camera up high.
He's artsy like.
Yeah, he is. And of course, is there a photo of the dinner that hasn't changed in 20 plus years? Yeah. The Cornish game hen, would you call it the Cornish game hen? And the biscuit and the large vegetables.
I see a hole there.
That's it. There's a hole for the Cornish game hen to use. It's gross. And the dragon's blood soup, which if you go, little note, ask them to keep the soup there because it's a good dipping sauce for the very
bread?
dry Cornish game hen.
Oh no! Was it not?
It was good, but it needed a little sauce. The boobs were dry.
The boobs are dry?
The boobs were dry. His the thighs were good, but that's what every game is. Ow.
You need some
Are you
butter.
okay?
I'm not okay today. It's been a rough morning. That's why we have a margarita.
There you go.
But obviously, and is there a shot of fire? Is there a video of fire going on? Because honestly, have you seen the show in a long time?
My wife was in there for over 10 years, and we recently saw it, and we have good friends that are in there, yes.
So Eiler at House Seats, he was also in it. He played the King Arthur too.
Travis and Diane, yeah.
See?
Small world.
But the small world.
I was in it too for a couple of years. I
You
played
were?
a horse.
You played the horse. Yeah, you did for all those nights to ride on. Yeah, you did.
That was me.
The one thing that scares the shit out of you is how much firepower is in the show. Like every 2 seconds, wasn't it like it throws you off because all of a sudden fireworks go off or some crazy, sound boom. Like all of us were freaking out the whole time, like gunshot.
It's like a Hollywood action movie, right?
Yeah.
Didn't they just revamp it?
I've seen it. I saw it on Valentine's Day a couple years ago, and it seemed very much similar.
A good
but
Valentine's Day.
It was a very nice Valentine's present.
It's a romantic date.
Yeah, I know. Listen, we had some lesbian girls with us. We're happy about it. So, I don't know. And we sat in the Russian section this time, didn't we? Yeah, go Russia. Fuck. Facebook is reviewing all their ads for the politics.
No.
Yes. But he was the most active of the nights that came around, wasn't he? Like all the other nights didn't seem to really go by their section. Ours was always in our area, and then was taking pictures afterwards and whatnot. Yeah, none of them are wigs. They all have long hair. Where do they find these guys? Like
I'm part of the same, but I
know you cut your hair
Yeah,
off.
he cut it.
Yeah, he
This
did.
is short.
This is a short Elvis.
He's got a bob.
Well, there's a website, guys with long hair. Just
That's
go
where
there.
.com.
I'm gonna
Can
look
you
that up
imagine
in the
if that's
show.
how they cast it? They just go to
I'm gonna write that down.
guyswithlonghair.com.
How do you cast TOK? I'm gonna get all kinds of fun stuff. Oh, TikTok.
Or maybe they just, when they get hired, they give them mane and tail, and they're just like, just wash your hair a lot. Let it
Something
grow.
like that. Something like that. But I'm very amazed, first of all, because they have all of them that are shirtless have six packs and look amazing. I love you, honey. And, everybody that's, they're hot. It's a hot show. They don't care.
With all the fireworks, you mean? Yeah.
Yes, there you go.
cares.
Thank you. You care. Do you care? Of course you care. Okay.
But you can't forget the hot chicks as well.
Oh, no. The
dancers.
wenches come out with
Yeah.
I think a lot of them had
The one.
the one. Yeah, the one. And he said the one with the big boobs.
Oh, there was definitely
Oh, there was
one.
definitely, and their costumes are on point. Like on it, we had when we had Brandon on the show last week, he was talking about the upcoming Renaissance Fair
Oh yeah.
out at Sunset Park, and you're thinking these costumes. You've been to the Renaissance Festival. We talked about this last week. That looks like a lot of fun to be able to go and stay in costume and carry your chalice around and get whatever they're filling it with.
Yeah, the jousting is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Well, and they
role play all day long. Like when I walk in with my daughter, they'll be like, "Hi, my lady."
Yeah, well, they do that at the Pirate Fest. Yeah, that's what we were saying. Like, anytime you go to these events, they definitely feel like there's debauchery going on. He did say that there's
camp out.
The camp out at night is really fun.
they stay there.
It's kind of the hippies of the medieval era.
Aha.
Yeah.
Yes.
We want to create like an epic rock thing to put in their music stage for 2019.
Put an epic rock thing in the Sunset Park for the Renaissance Fest.
Yeah, because they hire bands to perform.
Oh, yeah.
But you have to do like gothic Celtic rock that's epic. And I feel we could do that.
I'm going to pull out my jester costume from High School Madrigals and go and do that. We'll do it.
I was a big.
I'm going to find that photo, too. I'm going to find that.
Can you please invite me to that?
Of course. But everyone has to dress up for this occasion. So this happens in October. We'll digress. Did you have anything to share from your week this week, Mr. Hotzev, except for The Price is Right this morning?
The Price is Right this
that
morning.
people won lots of money on, record
guys,
money.
You guys, we're not nerds. We're just nerds.
We're not nerds.
I thought it's called The Price is Right.
There you go.
It is. Don't give away the secrets.
Elvis. Oh, Elvis. I did want Drew Carey's job. That was a known fact. When Bob Barker was retiring, I did want his job.
I think you'd be great.
I would have a great time on that show. Although they have a lot of new games I've never played before, and I have to gear up because I'm going to for my birthday, for my 40th birthday. We're going. My mom's 70th birthday, and my 40th. We're going to Price is Right, October 12th.
Well,
I
Adam
can't wait.
So the price is going to be right. I'm going to write that on my fucking shirt. That's what I'm going to say.
Adam Sandler is the director.
Adam Sandler is the director of The Price is
and that's
Right.
why all the games are changing because he's
Shut
like, yeah,
up. Really?
yep.
Oh,
Little
that's
fun
fun.
fact for you there.
That's a little fun fact, nerd fact over there.
Yeah.
Elvis.
Yes.
I know. I'm like going to go right into this. I have known Elvis for almost 20 years.
I know. You were a spring chicken.
But you are, yeah, I know. I was really young. I knew not, as we were talking top of show, I'm very naive. I'm like, let's go to a party at his house.
And it was
That
very
face was
European.
priceless.
What do you expect? Yes.
I don't know. Elvis and I worked together at Blue Man Group at the Luxor then, when in 1999, 2000, when it was
2000,
opening over at the Luxor at the time, and now it's back at Luxor. Whole different show. But you've been with Blue Man Group the entire time that it's been here.
No.
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 Bad Google.
Oh, yeah, bad
Google.
researching. Actually, I was also from 2008 till 2016.
Yeah.
I was this Chris Angel.
Oh, that's right.
Cirque du Soleil.
Don't you remember he was over on
Same
the side?
showroom,
he had the
different
fan.
show.
I
Yes.
know. You know.
Is that weird for you?
It was a crazy deja vu. I remember going down the stairway to the dressing rooms, and at Bloomin' there was always a mirror when you open the door.
Yep.
So I had this
Yeah.
Pavlov kind of thing where I would expect to see myself, but there was just a yellow wall. Oh.
They took away the mirror because they didn't
I
want you to know
know.
what you looked like before you went
So
out.
sad. He forgot what. He
Well,
looked like.
I think that probably tried to prevent me from time has passed. You look older now. Oh yeah, you know. So that's
Time is
So they
passed.
did it to help you out.
yeah.
So they did this to help you. In the time that you were with Blue Man before you left, that was when they left. Did they go to Venetian at that time, or was
Well, I
that
still was
Monte
at the
Carlo?
Venetian. Well, I started Bloomin' actually while I was in Boston, like
Yes.
in 96, 97. And I moved to Chicago, New York, and ended up here. And I did the Monte Carlo, and I did the Venetian.
Yeah.
And then I went, I had my own show at the Studio 54 where I did my own productions called Open Forum. And it went really well, but then the manager changed and the new manager didn't want to do it. You know how it sometimes is.
Yeah.
And so then I joined Cirque du Soleil with Chris Angel. But I have been on and off doing Bloomin' part-time at the Monte Carlo, at the Venetian, and now I'm also back at the Luxor.
The nice thing I want to mention this about Blue Man Group particularly because it is an institution of when a musician has this permanent gig, they almost can slip in and out when they're needed. A lot of the Blue Men would do that. Like I remember Jeffrey Brown, particularly, he'd go and do L.A. gigs, or Scott Kinworthy. They would come. These are Blue Man names.
Matthew
they would
Banks
come in.
left.
Yeah.
He goes on tour. Well, I did a 3-month leave of absence, and which is great. Other shows maybe should take note of that. If you can do other things, and let's say for 2 months you can do something completely different, and you come back into a regular show, you bring a new energy into it.
Yeah.
You have something more new to tell, and that really rejuvenates the actual show you do on a regular basis. So I think it's very important that you have a chance to diversify and have the freedom to. Other shows can be no, you only work for us, So I think Bloomin' is very generous.
Well, the originators of that, Chris, Matt, and Phil. I know we call them by their first name, CMP at the time. Chris Wink, Matt Goldman, Phil Stanton. I'm like, I
but
had
you
to
know what?
their
Then
last
somebody
names.
thought it was Chris Mettenphil.
Yeah.
So the last name was Mettenphil.
One guy was Chris Mettenfield.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And I remember those days in the early Luxor days when the show opened. And we were literally like grabbing people from the casino, come and see this show. And then I've said this on the show before because when we've had Vince on the show. I think Jay and I, my husband and I, were on a cruise, on a Norwegian cruise line, and Blue Man Group was on the cruise.
That's right. Yeah.
And I was literally sat there because I just was channeling inner Lisa Wisely, right? Remember Lisa, who used to be in charge of branding and things for Blue Men, and I thought, Blue Men was this at the Luxor, and no one knew who they were. And it's back in the day, right before the Intel commercial that they did, which was really big. Here they were on a cruise line, and everyone's like, these old people are like, I can't wait to see the Blue Man Group. And I'm like, oh my God, we couldn't even get you to see the Blue Man Group, 20 years before. And now they're like so excited. I was so thrilled to see. Yeah.
There's an underground thing off Broadway making it this big. I was just thinking about driving here. There's a show De La Guardia out of Argentina.
Yeah.
That was here, but it was the wrong time, the wrong casino.
At the Rio. It was at the Rio,
it was such a great show. I think it was nowadays at the right casino, it would be such a hit.
Yeah.
You have to, and Blue Man did it on that level really right, to have that underground flair. And
well, they were able to, as I've seen the show progress, they were able to keep the show very current.
Yeah.
I mean, so much of the technology that Blue Man Group uses, and obviously the band, very vital part of the show, it's so immersive and it's so today, no matter what generation they're speaking to, people understand, whether it's the iPhone, whether back then it was, I'm trying to remember the show.
It's very socially aware and critical in a humorous way.
Yeah.
And it transcends on many different levels. It uses really postmodern art from Yves Klein to Jackson Pollock, but in a humorous way. So people go like, oh, that's really cool. But other people that understand a little bit more about art, oh, that's a cool reference. So it's really clever how it really has a multi-layer of entertainment.
Yeah.
God, I haven't seen it since it was at Luxor the first time, I believe.
You- really?
When I first moved
my
out here, like
God.
in 2000 and
For the Queen show, right? Did you rock here?
before the yeah.
You saw it before
somewhere
you went to
around
We'll
then.
Rock You, because We'll Rock You was at 05, right?
Yeah, so
05
it had to be somewhere
yeah.
around then. Yeah, and
I
was
remember
like,
Brian May coming to the show, and it's like,
Yeah.
I've met my
Yeah,
idol.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
And,
There were so many celebrities that would come to Blue Man Group back in the day, and I remember we have a girl there by the name of Tammy Unglesby, who is
she's such
probably the queen of Blue Man Group.
and the biggest fan of is a starstruck person I know. Yeah.
She was the best because
Yeah.
I was there as this lonely little publicist at the show, and I had to stay at night to greet the PR people that would come and the different, like Entertainment Tonight. But she always wanted, I didn't care for the celebrity component. She would stay and meet the O-Town Boys, the Backstreet Boys, everyone from
Gary Busey,
Steven Soderbergh, and Julia Roberts, and all these people came in from Ocean's 11 to watch the show. Like,
who's it? Jeremy, the porn star guy?
I
don't watch porn.
Ron Jeremy.
the porn guy, I don't.
But
watch
no, he
porn.
went to the bathroom and he threw something on the "Your heads are blue, my balls are blue too" or something. He put and I don't know, it was an imprint of his balls, but it looked like blue balls.
Yeah. There were many things that happened.
Wait, he wrote that on the wall?
Oh my God, I forgot about
it was
this.
Ron Jeremy.
Yes.
Did they-
and signed it
Ron
underneath,
Jeremy, yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm.
He came to Rock of
Man.
Ages. He's cool. He's a cool guy. He's a lot of fun.
Clearly, we
had
had
a lot
our
of fun
share
with
of
him.
very interesting characters that came in there. Oh my God.
Yeah.
And we had the biggest parties of anyone among the Blue Man Group knew how to throw a party for sure.
I mean, we were just talking about it when Blue Man recouped. They shut down
recoupment party.
all the shows
That's what I
all
was telling
over
them
the
about before.
country
Mhm.
and flew everybody in, provided them with hotel rooms. And
House
there
of
was a
Blues.
House of Blues. And
Every level of the House of Blues, we had this
yeah.
party on. I was telling them about this party.
Dream of the giant club.
It turned into like the big club, that top area at House of Blues
Yeah, yeah.
that no one uses was the after hours and debauchery area, and then the club itself. And
So they flew in
my God. They
everybody
flew
that
every
Worked for Blue Man Group.
worldwide from Blue Man
Back
Group.
in the
and
day,
just-
it was just national, but it still was New York, Chicago, and Boston.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
Vegas.
wow.
So
the
closed
goal,
down-
yeah, the goal was when you made your money back, you incur more debt to bring everybody in.
Right?
No, this was honestly, and I tease this. I tell this to Lisa Wisely. I tell this to Laura Camion all the time. Blue Man Group was the best job I ever had. Honestly, I got goosebumps. That was the best job I ever had. I was hired in as a production assistant in the beginning, and I helped out, and then ended up doing the PR for the local show, and it was the best job I ever had.
That's
Honestly, it was
awesome.
so much fun to be on the Strip, to be at Luxor. Honestly, and anything you ever had go wrong in your day, you would go up to the show after your day was over and watch it, and everything you had melted away because the show was so powerful.
It was also so life-changing for me. I remember when I was still a student and I got the part-time gig in Boston.
Yeah.
And being part of it, and then, not to like pep on show, but then ended up playing on the records, developing the show here, ended up playing the Grammys.
Yes,
I created
yes, yeah.
something for them. That was then we played with Moby and Jill Scott, and just all these experiences were such a life-shaping for me. Yeah, very, very cool. Yeah.
Yeah, they definitely, when they came up with the album, because they were nominated for Best Instrumental Album, was a new category for the Grammys, I think. And the Grammys always does mashups. And it was Moby, Jill Scott, and Blue Man Group. And everyone was, I think that was the first standing ovation in that Grammys that year
Yes.
was for that performance.
There was one crazy thing because I had to start out the piece with something I created called the Pressaphonic.
Yeah.
So you have a click, but you have a delay, and I have to hit it right on the first tempo thing. And if you hit it wrong, you're off. But then the stage manager during rehearsal said, I give you 3 flashlights to start. So the thing moves aside, and I go, where's the flashlight? There is no flashlight. This is uncomfortable silence. If you go on YouTube, you see it. And behind me, Elvis, start. It hasn't shown me the flashlight yet,
Oh, yeah.
And the guy, I see somebody screaming, and then I start, and then all of a sudden it was like, all right, we're good.
I felt like it was a dramatic pause for people to realize who is performing.
It's a matter of interpretation, yes.
Is that the song "I Feel Good" or "I Feel Love"?
No, but they did remake that song.
No, yeah, they did that too. Something with blues.
It was,
the blues. Dang it.
If you could pull that up anywhere.
Lordy.
Trouble so high. Yeah.
Okay. Because I know the "I Feel Love" song.
Yeah.
So they remade that on the second album that they did, and they
second
did that
album,
yeah.
with I forgot her name, but yeah, they remade. That was my favorite
'Cause that
track
actually
of
is
my
on my
life.
iPod.
It's amazing. Yeah. That is.
It makes me happy.
The Blue Man Group.
Oh, my God.
I mean, everything that they play, especially when it comes to the part in the show, I don't know what it's called, where they're
PVCs?
they're given a chance to play different famous numbers.
Oh, yeah, the teasers, they
yeah.
call it, yeah.
I mean, the music does. It does work. So I want to go back to really fast what you were talking about when you did Studio 54.
Oh, yeah.
Because we used to go there before it was Hakkasan, and there were all the aerial acts, there were all the things that went on.
Studio 54 was the shit.
Yes, the second Studio 54 in life, the one that was here in
Vegas.
Las
The
Vegas.
one in Vegas,
Not
yeah.
Elvis wasn't alive during the first one. I don't think any of
I
us
was,
were.
actually.
You were? Did you go? Well, you were a child.
Yeah, I was snuck in exactly with Drew Barrymore. No, I'm kidding. No. Remember, she went there with
When you
9
were
years
ET?
old and
When
became
she
a
was in
coke
ET,
addict
you
or
did.
something.
Okay,
Yeah.
Can
perfect.
you believe that?
That's what they were
that's
doing
crazy.
back then.
That's
Oh my
crazy
God.
stuff. I mean, even for back in the day, I think this is just like
9 years
now
old.
having a
she was in
now having a kid thinking about really. Are you
9.
guys insane?
Mm-hmm.
Studio
Okay.
54.
I mean, we've done
Right.
insane stuff, but that's unacceptable.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know anything about it. I don't know anything. What'd you say out there?
Anyways,
What'd you say out there, Superman?
She'd be a cool.
oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
she'd
he
be,
would. Yeah,
she'd be
out
hella
there.
cool at the
She'd be out
party.
there dancing. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
Of course she would.
But Studio 54 was really a cool opportunity. And I remember I met Mike Milner
Yeah.
at the Zumanity opening party. And he's like,
was
Elvis, I
insane.
heard about you. I want you to throw an event at Studio 54. I was like, really? And it was actually my band Überschall. We've been playing at the Double Down now since
Yep.
17 years. And crazy.
I've seen you guys. I love it. There was many a time we would leave Blue Man to go see Ubershaw
Yeah.
perform.
And-
17 years you've been doing that.
Yeah. And actually, this Sunday we're playing and we're recording video and multi-track at the Double Down Saloon after midnight. So if anybody wants to come,
This Sunday.
this Sunday
Double
after
down,
midnight, 24.
ass juice, everything.
Yeah, and
Perfect.
Yeah,
bacon,
ass
bacon
juice.
martini.
Is Mike Burns still in the band?
No, Mike Burns lives in Chicago now.
Oh,
That's right.
Oh my
well,
God.
you know, the personnel has
progressed.
changed, yeah.
yeah,
Or regressed, however
Okay.
you want to call this. No, but now he did.
yeah.
They were just playing with his band. It's not called Nighthawk, but something Hawk. They played at the Double Down. Great band he has. Electric Hawk. Sorry, Mike. Anyways, what was great about Überschall and 254, coming from Germany, techno music took over in 87. My rock band would sell out every club, and also, no, we don't have bands anymore. We have DJs. You know?
Yeah,
And I was
yeah.
like, what? So back in the day was stiff Atari techno, and I go in there, ended up dating a rave girl. You know, everybody on ecstasy and glow sticks, and like,
Nobody knows
that's-
anything about that.
No, I mean not me. Everybody else, of course. Yeah, and
You've heard it through the grapevine.
yeah. It's a guitar amp,
E.
Bogner ecstasy. It's perfect, yeah.
So powerful. Is everyone laughing?
Anyways, my thought was like, oh, how can I use that aesthetic and make it play this sound with live musicians?
Yeah.
So that's where Überschall came about, and so having done this at the Double Down and trying we played House of Blues before and other venues,
Yeah.
and then Mike Milner heard about it, so we mixed up a live band Überschall with the DJ playing live electronica basically, but then I turned it into a multimedia show with dances, acrobats, dances from Celine Dion. Every monthly theme bit different. We had a Chicks and Salsa with a Latin
Yeah.
night, and
yeah.
or Africa where we did high life music, or for Christmas we did the Nutcracker Space Oddity. Where we mixed it up with I made remixes of the Nutcracker with David Bowie and had androgynous.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, really cool. You know.
I just see the March of the Toys thing.
Yeah, it's cool.
So he was before we did House Seats Presents. You were the early guy bringing everyone from the strip to come in together to put
And-
on these
yes.
things. Look at that. Look at
Yeah.
that. He's
And I
a
think
pioneer.
we should
Pioneer.
Yeah.
I want to speak like when we had Kellyanne and the British accent. I just want to speak German
Oh
when
my
I
God,
hear
we
Elvis
had someone
talk.
with a British accent the other day, and he talked the whole show. He was like,
I tried not to, but it would.
"Cheerio."
It just
I never said that to her.
yes,
I
yes.
just whatever.
He's something British.
Whatever. Elvis was actually, and there's your balls. Look at
See,
that.
look
There's
at
your
that.
balls. That's nice.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Elvis did play in our set list twice. He played Queen Show at the House of Blues, and you played Rolling Stones. But
No, I didn't play the
you didn't play Rolling Stones.
No. I was out of town actually.
First of all, he's a god.
See, he did get a haircut. See, told you.
I know. No, I know.
These are extensions, guys.
This was him trying out for Tournament of Kings, and it didn't take.
Exactly.
Oh,
There's a
didn't- you
website,
didn't get
manwithhalflonghair.com too.
half long hair. I can't even regain. In this particular show, so you've had a chance to perform this music before?
No,
No,
that was
this
the
is your first time.
That's the thing. I was such a Queen.
I'm getting
Queen
all my
fan
points wrong
when-
today.
No, oh, sorry,
Yeah.
disagreeing with you.
No,
all the
no,
time.
you can disagree with me. It's okay.
I was such a big Queen fan and Brian May fan that I always had too much respect to really attempt to actually play, learn his
Yeah.
guitar parts. I mean, I dabble with it, but it's like, oh my God, this is a whole other universe. And then when Vince asked me to join it, I was like, all right, this is the right moment. And I totally delved into it. And it was such a great experience. First of all, everybody,
You killed it.
including you, Eiler, that performed it.
You killed it.
And it was something where it's like a dream come true. All the people that are playing my favorite songs and with such great musicians. It was awesome. And again, music, and this is what I love, and I did this with Studio 54, and you guys do this now. Bring back the live music and bring it up to the zeitgeist, we say in German, the time spirit of the times, where the young kids and the old kids can come together and enjoy this again. And nothing against DJs. It's cool. But something gets lost.
That's okay. Tiesto's our next week guest. I'm really going to screw it up next week for him. He's not coming.
Absolutely. I definitely agree with you.
And, we have to find a way of merging this in a really artistic way where it has a similar excitement it used to have for live music and what it has for electronica.
We did that when we were at Brooklyn Bowl. I grew up, my uncle worked for Van Halen. He did all of their merchandise on tour. Yeah. And so he was able to come to the show, and the gentleman we had playing guitar on that literally...
Zuder.
Yeah.
We literally, I got goosebumps thinking, my uncle was crying because it felt like he was reliving those days all over again. It wasn't a tribute. It was him playing the way he thought he should play. It's insane the way that you guys take what you're doing, and honestly, that's what everyone does. If you don't even know all the songs, because a lot of people came to the show like, maybe they didn't know every Van Halen song. Maybe they didn't know most people know every Queen song to the degree, but everyone just literally looks back and like, what the fuck was that?
It's a
Why did I
similar
bleep
challenge.
myself out? What the fuck was that?
Similar challenge too. A lot of times with Queen and Van Halen, the guitarist is such a part of the sound.
Yeah.
If you don't do that right, everyone, that's not it. So you really gotta delve into it and really not only learn the notes, embody it. It's almost like a how do you call these actors like Robert De Niro, like a
Method?
Like a method actor.
Method actor, yeah. In that sense, exactly. Which is hard with Freddie Mercury. As a guitarist, it's easier. I can tell, and I love that you guys took your own versions of it.
Yeah.
I saw Queen actually. I brought my 7-year-old daughter the last time we were here. It was great. And Adam Lambert, amazing job. But he right away said, "Hey, I'm not Freddie. I'm going to do it my way, and I hope you guys enjoy the show."
Absolutely, he did. He was like, "This is."
You went to that show too.
Yeah, he was like, "This is my interpretation of it." He was like, "I will never, ever." Want to be compared to Freddie or try to even take his place, because I never will. But he was like, "This is what I have to offer, and I hope you enjoy what I bring to the table." And he was amazing.
Yeah. Speaking of concerts, and I know you've seen a lot in Vegas. What is one of your favorites that has come through here in the last? Because I know you go to a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Wow. This is. The favorite is always hard to tell. I'm a big Zappa fan. I saw Zappa play Zappa, or actually, it can't be called like this anymore. But Dweezil Zappa was really challenging himself to channel the music of his dad, and it was musically so amazing and emotionally also really amazing to see the son of a genius do homage to his dad. That was great. So that's the recent one that really sticks out.
Isn't Sean Coey in that?
She is.
Yes.
Yeah.
This was I'm
crazy, right?
I saw this. And I'm playing with the girl. But I must honestly say, one of the biggest honors of my life was Überschall got an interview in Oxnard, California for the W drums. And Terry Bozzio, one of the most amazing drummers, he played with Missing Persons, but he also played with Frank Zappa.
Okay.
Who was the host like you. Anyways, he was interviewing us, and then he would jam with us.
Yeah.
And he said, "Elvis, put up a show in Vegas. I want to play with Überschall." And I put up a show at the Smith Center, and my idol as a kid, came out and jammed with us, and it is great.
Well, you're there in the Cabaret Jazz spot. Yeah. How fantastic.
Yeah. So that's also great about Vegas. There's so many talented people here, such a great artistic community that you can do things which in New York or Los Angeles, well, how much does that pay? Or here, it's maybe cost of living, and most of us have somehow gigs. We like to play like it was in high school.
Yeah.
But on a level that's super professional. So I love that.
And there's some music to Andy's ears right now for sure, because we're gonna keep going.
Well, you just said exactly what the whole goal has always been: is capturing when we loved it instead of when it was a job.
Remind yourself why you do it. That's what I always say. Yeah.
Capturing the goal. Speaking of that, we have another House Seats Present show coming up on September 30th, and it is the Beatles. tell us more about that since you're mic'd out there, Andrew.
Well, I'm being yelled at because we're over time. But
right.
It's the Sgt. Pepper album for the 50th anniversary.
Yep.
Crazy lineup. Awesome band. And we just found out Vince is adding a musician that's Celine's old music director.
Yeah,
How about that?
How about that?
Eve?
Get your tickets.
Yep.
There you go.
Cool.
Vince just pulling it out of his ass and saying,
Get your tickets now. You can go to houseseatspresents.com.
amazing night.
Happy Friday, everybody. We love you, Elvis. Thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Bye, everybody. Bye. Happy Life is Beautiful.